Hey Ardent, here we are on Wednesday, April 15th. We're going to have two parts today from the workout. We're going to do an initial kind of strength bodybuilding point, and then we'll work to an actual workout portion. So today, in this initial portion, this 3 rounds, is going to be combining a single leg RDL, a dumbbell upright row, and then a dead bug. So we're going to kind of demo through these 3 movements. This is mostly just think quality work, right? We're not scoring this. This should be a steady, slow movements. All of these are, right? Very deliberate movements. So there's no like 4 time or necessarily even 4 load stuff that we're after here. Really just after some good quality stuff here. So when we talk through like something like the single leg RDL, we've done similar to single leg deadlifts over the last few weeks. RDL is going to be very similar, other than the fact that I want you to control more on like good range of motion as far as getting tension more than like touching the floor with the dumbbells or anything like that, right? Ideally 2 dumbbells, maybe something slightly lighter, or if we only have one heavier one, we could hold one heavier one in the middle as well. Same thing with a kettlebell. But we're going to have that foot offset a tad bit. She's going to have a front soft knee, and then just that hinge, throwing the hips, pushing the hips back, hinging over, keeping that good flat back, right? Single leg is really when you feel that tension is when you're going to stop, right? So she doesn't need to necessarily go all the way to the floor with these dumbbells. She's more or less just finding that good tension point, and depending on where she's at for her without losing back angle and all that is where she's going to stop. Again, same thing if you have one, all that same thing is going to apply. You're talking about 10 to 15 on the single leg, so that is basically splitting this up, 7, 8 each leg, something like that is what we're after, whether we're holding 1 or 2 things here, all right? Well then, so we're going to go 3 rounds, right? That's 10, 15 on the single leg. So think heavy weight, maybe that's 10, lightweight, maybe that's 15, right? That's kind of where you're at as far as your rep ranges here. Same thing on this dumbbell upright row. If she has kind of lighter weight and she has 2 of them, then she's going to work really tracing through, dumbbells pointing in and elbows high and outside, right? So a good top row where she's going to get that top pulling point. Those are going to be right around that sternum height or so is where this thing's going to be finishing. And we want to avoid any sort of herky-jerky motion. So controlled movement, almost like a 2 count up, and then 1 count down, right? 2 count up, 1 count down. We want to stay away from any sort of driving, pulling, hinging movements on this upright row. This can be worked with just one movement, whether it be a kettlebell or a dumbbell that's maybe slightly heavier, because this does need to be a little lighter. If you have like 2 35-pound dumbbells, it's probably not going to work for it. It's probably a tad bit heavy. So maybe just one, or again, like a kettlebell, you're going to really do that top pull, elbows high and outside finishing point, right? So again, heavyweight, lightweight, 10 to 15 reps. We'll then work to a dead bug. Dead bug is going to be a birth fit movement as well, as that we're kind of, this is a movement functional progression 1, that's right. So 2 things you can think about here, right? Good neutral spine, that means that good flat back to the floor. And then as far as arms and legs, you can envision maybe you have like a yoga ball in between knees and arms, right? She's basically holding that. And she's going to go opposite arm and leg here. As she does that, her range of motion is going to be controlled largely by where she can keep her good flat back or that low back, mid back on straight to the floor. So she starts arching the back as she gets good range of motion, or too far range of motion. She wants to stop before she gets there. These are extremely controlled movements here, right? So this is not anything that's going to be fast. It's very deliberate, almost kind of the same pacing that she's doing here. It's like a 3 count up and down as you just slowly, and we use this as a good warm-up, but also strengthening through that upper back and through that lower posterior side as well. So take your time through these movements. You're going to go 3 rounds, right? 10, 15 RDL, 10, 15 upright rows, 20 dead bugs. That's technically 10 each side, whichever way you want to think about it, 3 rounds. So it should take a little bit of time as you work through this initial part. Working into the workout, we're going to work through, again, 2 dumbbells if we've got them, and you're going to work through 3 rounds, right? You're going to rest 4 minutes after each 3-round section. So the first one is going to be 15 dumbbell push presses. She'll get those into the front rack, and that dip and drive and that good extension on the arms, getting to that fully overhead movement, right? So dip, drive. So you can see there's just one dip, drive, no rebending here as we want to work on push press, right? Not a push jerk. So if we have 2 dumbbells, that's what we're after. If we have 1, we can certainly just do, I don't want you guys doing 15 on each arm. So you can do 2 things. You can either alternate, or if you have kind of a larger dumbbell, you can really go like holding 1 dumbbell in the middle and work through push press. But this can also work with like a kettlebell movement as well, or a heavier wall ball or a plate or any of those types of things. We'll If we only have one item and we can't get it in two hands, then just split this in half, right? So 3 rounds, right? 15 dumbbell push press, 50 double unders. That's 150 double unders. You'll then rest 4, kind of fully recover. Work into the second portion, which is devil's press. Ideally, if we have 2 lighter dumbbells, we will do devil's press, which is that burpee movement, right? So chest on the ground. She'll hop herself up, a little more of a kettlebell swing as she goes directly overhead in one motion, right? If we're not able to go directly overhead in one motion, probably a little heavy on the dumbbells that we're using, then we can just go like a single arm dumbbell, and then we'll just kind of alternate through the sides as well. And this works the exact same way. Or if you only have one dumbbell, this is exactly the same way. Or maybe we don't have dumbbells at all and we have a kettlebell. We can work that exact same movement with the kettlebell, which is basically doing that good burpee movement. And then we're just going to switch arms here, right, into more or less a one-arm kettlebell swing all the way from ground to overhead. And then just switch arms, switch sides the next time as you work through this devil's press, right? Bottom line is 7 devil's presses, 50 double unders, 3 rounds, rest 4 minutes. Then we're lastly going into this dumbbell hang clean. So same thing here. She brings the dumbbells up to this hang position. Anywhere between this top portion, here's what we're after, and she's working through a clean, full clean, squat clean. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, she's working through, there you go, right? 10 of these total. Same thing if we've got one, alternating arms, right? We can do all that stuff, but 10 hang cleans, 50 double unders, 3 rounds of that. And then your time is up from there. All right, so a good workout, lots of double unders today. If you don't have double unders, just do 50 single unders. We don't want too much jumping today, plenty of hopping around already going on today. All right, guys, that's your Wednesday. Enjoy.